Hello, Dee Hennessy here from mindfulfacilitation.com. And you're so welcome to this, the first in a series of 3 workshops on managing stress in a challenging moment. Indeed, finding our peace in those moments of extreme stress. So these 3 workshops are brought to you by Kilkenny County Council as part of their Encouraging Minds workshops. And I want to thank them for the opportunity of being part of this. And also to thank the funders, the Dormant Accounts Funding, and also the Department of Rural and Community Affairs for making this series possible. So the context for this, the first session, finding our peace in moments of extreme stress, is really the pandemic. The challenging times we're living in, where most of us are experiencing more stress, more anxiety, and sometimes fear in ways that we have not previously done. Maybe we're experiencing this stress as we're caring for loved ones. Maybe experiencing the stress in work situations. Or perhaps it's in parenting. Maybe parenting in challenging situations without the resources and supports that we really need. So the intention here is to provide a little pause and an opportunity to reflect on the need for self-compassion as we negotiate these days. And also then perhaps to learn some tips and tools about how we can best support ourselves in these moments of stressful challenge. So I want to offer here 3 short practices, hopefully one of which will be useful to you in a moment of extreme difficulty. The first one is breathing and counting. So it's rather simple. We breathe into the count of 4 and breathe out to the count of 4. And we do that 4 times. So breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. And doing that, breathing to the count of 4 times, is in fact enough to unhook us from being stuck on a stress reactive moment. And you might like to explore practicing lengthening the breath to the count of 6. So maybe breathing into the count of 6 and out to the count of 6. For some of us, focusing on the breath is not comfortable. It somehow makes us a little more anxious. So there are other ways that I can break the stress cycle, even in the heat of the moment. One way is through doing something called the 5 senses practice. So even in the middle of a very stressful moment, I can press the pause button and maybe just take a look around the room I'm in and just notice the space. And then focus on the 5 senses. What can I see? What can I hear? What am I touching? What can I smell? And even coming into the mouth and noticing what taste is here. So just that, focusing on the 5 senses, even for one moment, can be really helpful in the heat of a very stressful situation. And I offer a third. practice called grounding. So again, maybe in the very heat of the moment where I'm feeling stress, overwhelmed, not able to cope, if I can give myself even 60 seconds to notice the feet on the floor, just that. Maybe noticing any sensations in the feet themselves, any sense of warmth, moisture, contact with cloth or shoe or the floor beneath me. Just noticing what sensations are in their feet right here, right now. Maybe even registering no sensation. And then seeing if it might be possible to even imagine the feet connected through the floor to the earth beneath us, so that in a way I'm kind of rooted, I'm grounded. Maybe even imagining roots from the feet going all the way down to the earth beneath me. And as I sense into that, beginning to feel the strength in my own legs, strong, grounded, and flexible. And so that's a third practice for the heat of the moment. Finding a way that works for you to press the pause button, give yourself a break, and allow the parasympathetic nervous system, that calming, soothing system that is available to us, to come in and flood the body with more calming, releasing, peaceful hormones that will bring you back to baseline and help you to respond more wisely rather than having your buttons pressed, even in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, in a time of extreme stress or anxiety or fear or challenge, I hope some of the tools I've shared will be of use. But I really wanted also to say that probably the most important thing to do in that moment of challenge is to acknowledge our humanness and to engage in something called self-compassion. Now, most of us are very well able to be there for another, to respond with kindness and care to a friend or another who is in trouble. But the ask in this case is, can we respond to ourselves with the same kindness and compassion when we're in a moment of suffering? So I want to introduce a momentary self-compassion practice. So in that moment of difficulty, where I'm finding it hard, instead of allowing my inner critic to get active and busy, to really allow myself to notice that it is hard. Even maybe finding a phrase that I can say to myself, this is rough, I'm having a horrible time, this is difficult. Just finding a form of words that works for you to say something to yourself that acknowledges the difficulty. And then the second phrase is saying something that acknowledges to yourself that this too will pass. This is here now, but it will pass. So really exploring, can you consider being a kind friend to yourself in a moment of difficulty? And can you find a form of words for self-soothing in a way, for saying this is difficult, this is hard, I hate this, I'm so upset. Whatever it is, can I say it to myself? Like I might reassure a friend who's having that hard time. And then can I find a form of words that tells me, this too will pass. It's horrible now. It will pass. So that's a self-compassion moment, evidence-based way of helping us to cope with extreme difficulty. I wanted to finish, as always, with 5 tips. How can you support yourself in a moment of extreme stress or struggle? Number 1, be kind to yourself. It is hard, so building that muscle of self-compassion. Number 2, moving the body. Even standing up and moving to a different place already helps some energy to get unblocked in the body. Number 3, take some time out. So maybe after the extreme challenging moment, actually take some time out. Number 4, know what is helpful for you in supporting your well-being. Have a little bag of tools or tricks that are helpful for you to self-soothe and to build your well-being, and intentionally drawing on these in times of difficulty. And number 5, staying connected. So finding another person that you can share your difficulty with. So till next time, take care. Remember that we are humans. It's okay to acknowledge when we're having a difficult time. And we have amazing brains, so we can get in touch with inner resources to help ourselves even in the moments of extreme challenge. So thank you, and see you again.